test for live stream.
The world stands out on either side, no wider than the heart is wide. Above the world is stretched the sky, no higher than the soul is high. The heart can push the sea and land, though far away on either hand. The soul can split the sky in two and let the face of God shine through. Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. We're so happy that those of you are joining us online this morning. This month, we have used the transformation of a butterfly as a metaphor for our lives and our faith journeys. And today, we leap forward into new heights and we dare to dream about a truly fulfilling life. Next Sunday is an extra special Sunday at Throop for a few reasons. One is it's our annual flower ceremony and volunteer appreciation Sunday. And so you're invited to bring a flower in to share. And next Sunday is also our annual congregational meeting that will take place at 12:30 in the fireside room. It's a little room just off of the social hall, and you can also join our annual meeting online as well. If you're new to Throop today and you would love to stay in touch, there's an info card in the back of the pew right there in front of you, and you can fill it out. You can give it to our usher a little later in the service, and we will reach out to you this week. We're so glad you're with us this morning. And each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of hope and witness. In our lives, we pause and wonder, where will this path lead me? When we are confronted with limitations, we wonder, how can I move past this obstacle? When we are frozen with fear and sidelined with doubt, we wonder, what if this hesitation didn't hold me back? When our hearts are heavy and we are in need, we wonder, will the sacred breath of life reach me, even here? Let us always remember that we can emerge to renewed life again and again. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and still is the home of the Gabrielino Tonga Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish in our communities, life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
And we continue to welcome the morning with our opening hymn. It's number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. And please rise and sing as body and spirit allow.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, and we color every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in the other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place.
And turn to a neighbor and welcome them into worship.
place, when our heart is in a holy place. We are blessed with love and amazing grace, when our heart is in a holy place. When we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. Then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place.
Our responsive reading is A Prayer of Risk by Tamara Lebec. And the congregation's response is, we know we will unfurl our wings and emerge into new life. Those words are in the order of worship, and let's say them together. We know we will unfurl our wings and emerge into new life. Today, we remember to breathe deeply, to rest, to take in, to pause before we act. We know we will unfurl our wings and emerge into new life. And then to take in another deep breath, poised on the edge, and risk jumping in, risk taking action, risk speaking up, risk using the gifts we have been given. We know we will unfurl our wings and emerge into new life, so that at the end of our life, we can say with absolute clarity that no part of our existence was wasted in fear of failure or fear of success. We know we will unfurl our wings and emerge into new life. Hold us. Prepare us the way to begin to offer the gift of our awakened presence, full of love and light and life today. We know we will unfurl our wings and emerge into new life. Our worship theme today invites us to consider daring acts. And so as I thought about a story for all ages or an activity that would kind of put you in a daring mood, of course, my mind went to that game some of us played in junior high or at camp, Truth or Dare. Did you all ever play that game? And did some of you play it and actually have terrible consequences with, oh my gosh, I was Googling like church, truth or dare game. And no, we're not doing that today. Seemed a little too dangerous. But I also realized that sometimes sharing a truth with someone can feel almost as risky as doing a daring act. And so I am taking a risk here as your worship leader. Extroverts, rejoice. Introverts, I apologize. And I'm going to invite you to turn to a neighbor and turn to someone that you don't know that well. So if you're sitting with your best friend or partner, I know, I'm going to ask you to turn to someone who's not that person. And I have 4 questions, and being in a group of 3 people is fine because we want everyone to be in a group. So Terry is on the naughty pew if anyone wants to join her. You are. She needs friends here. But yeah, just take a moment and find someone, and then I have a series of 4 questions that you'll engage with each other. And if you are at home on the live stream chat, please, when you hear the questions, Feel free to put your answer in the live stream chat, and I'll see them later. Okay, so if you have not already shared your name with each other, you want to make sure you know each other's names. This is question 0. And does everybody have someone to talk to? Except me? Okay. So as a child, or in your current state of however old you are as a human, what was or what is your favorite treat from the ice cream truck or ice cream case? Okay. Question number 2 is, how do you feel about your first name? Question number 3 is, in this kind of particular moment in your life, maybe not this exact second, but just kind of in this season of your life right now, if you could push a button, would you push a rewind, pause, or fast forward button on your life? Hmm? And our final question for your group is, when it comes to peanut butter, do you choose crunchy or smooth? Yes, it is the riskiest question of the day. Oh, Hans wonders hydrogenated or non. Well, speaking of peanut butter, in our children's program today, it's one of their social justice Sundays, and as part of that, they and you all, after the service, will be invited to make sack lunches for the Friends Indeed Street Outreach team. And thank you for moving around and having such a great attitude and maybe taking some risks and talking to some new people and maybe making new friends. And I'd like to thank Allegra and Jamie for volunteering to run the Kids Dig In program today. And each Sunday we sing the children and the leaders into that program, and the words for the song are in the order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
And our pondering this morning comes from Gordon McKeenan, and it's called Contact. I stretch forth my hand, knowing not what I shall touch. A tender spot, an open wound, warmth, pulsing life, fragile blossoms, a rock, ice. I am tentative, trembling, wanting to avoid hurt, wanting to link my life with life and love. Lonely, I desire companions. Naked, I long for defenders. Lost, I want to find, to be found. Will I touch strangers or enemies or nothing? My hand is withdrawn, but still it touches my vulnerable skin, my furrowed brow, my empty pocket, my full heart. Do others reach, tremble, withdraw? Do they desire, yearn, and seek? Are they lonely, fearful, lost? Will they grasp a tentative, trembling hand? I stretch forth my hand, not knowing what I shall touch, but hoping. And we sing together, I Know This Rose Will Open, number 396.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
There are times when our hands feel so ready to reach out and be of service, to hold someone else. There are times we feel too afraid to extend it. Each Sunday, who knows where your heart or mind is as you come into the sanctuary, whether you feel expansive and able to reach out or if you feel more tentative. But however you come in here, this place is ready to welcome you, to accept you, and to acknowledge you for all of who you are. And we're able to be here each Sunday because of all the support you give this congregation, your gifts of time and talent and treasure. And in this moment, for those of you that are able to give a donation of treasure, we thank you so much. You can make a donation online. The ways to do that are in the order of worship, or Brad will put it in the live stream chat. If you're here in the room, you can place a donation in the offering plate. And if your gift is part of your pledge, we ask that you put it in the green envelope and make sure your name is on it so we can ensure that it's noted that you gave that. If you're a first-time visitor, we ask that you let the offering plate pass you by, and the morning offering will now be gratefully received.
The wind of change forever blown across the tumult of our way. Tomorrow's unborn griefs depose the sorrows of our yesterday. Dream yields to dream, strife follows strife, and death unweaves the web of life. For us the labor and the heat, the broken secrets of our pride, the strenuous lessons of defeat, the flower deferred, the fruit denied, but not the peace supremely won, great Buddha of the lotus throne. With futile hands we seek to gain our inaccessible desire, diviner summits to attain, with faith that sinks and feet that tire, but not shall conquer or control the heavenward hunger of our soul. The end elusive and afar still lures us with its beckoning flight, and our immortal moments are a session of the infinite. How shall we reach the great unknown nirvana of your lotus throne?
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those supporting today's worship service. Brad on the live stream, Cynthia for offering chalice lighting words and hosting the coffee and conversation after the service, Allegra and Jamie with the children's program, Winnie and Tom for being ushers and greeters, Megan on music, and Hillary with your administrative support. And as we give thanks for the morning offering, please say with me the words in the order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. Take a moment in the spirit of gratitude and just take a gentle breath in together. And exhale. And each week at Throop, we offer gratitude and love to our planet Earth. And we say together the promise to our planet, and those words are in the order of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, with hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources. We promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. And keeping that spirit of gratitude and nurturing well-being, our centering hymn is Meditation on Breathing, number 1009. It's in that teal hymnal. And this particular hymn has 3 parts to it. And Megan is going to teach you the parts, and then you get to opt in with the part that feels best to you this morning.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. If you would like to continue following Tara, you may, or you can follow me when I sing. When I breathe in, oh, breathe in peace. When I breathe out, oh, breathe out love. When I breathe in, oh, breathe in peace. When I breathe out, oh, breathe out love. And our third part is going to be led by Marissa, and it goes, when I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Breathe. When I breathe in, I'll breathe out. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
And take a breath in. Breathe out. Gently close your eyes. Breath of life and breath of love. We dream of a world more just and equitable. We dream of a world in which every outstretched hand meets an answer. We know that we cannot fully live into our potential as free beings or even secure our basic human needs if we do not abolish the systems of injustice and violence that plague our social relations and our economies. We dream of a day in which all have housing, have food, have the security of knowing they are held. We know in our lives that despite our efforts, there are times when we fail in our work to create a more equitable world. And in those times of failing, we pray for grace. And we pray for joy to give us the confidence we need to keep moving forward. We spend a few moments in shared stillness, focused on our breath, focused on our being, on our heartbeats, thinking about ways we can offer connection with others in the world. And for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Feel my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where it starts. They tell me I am too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only have 2 hands. I hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. I wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close
A Chinese philosopher and poet once had a wonderful dream. As he lay comfortably in bed, he dreamed that he was a butterfly dancing from one flower to the other, tasting the sweet nectar. Drifting in light summer breezes, he blissfully fluttered with other rainbow-colored butterflies. And suddenly, he woke up. Finding himself sitting on his bed, he realized, oh, I was dreaming. The dream seemed so real, he thought, as he looked around his simple cottage. And he wondered, well, am I a man who is dreaming about a butterfly? Or am I now a butterfly dreaming that I am a man? This month, we've used the image of a butterfly to move us through our worship theme of Emerge. And we started the month inviting those of us who identify as straight allies to show up strongly with our LGBTQIA+ siblings. And then Terry led you in a service on Mother's Day called Other Mothers, reminding us that one of our shared values is peace and also just the value of helping other people. Last week, we talked about unfolding in the presence of others and how this epidemic of loneliness is something that we can counter right here at Throop. Maybe you did a little bit of that earlier with our Truth or Truth segment of today's program. And now we end the month with our butterfly wings fully developed and ready to reach new heights. And today, I'm asking you, what is it in your life that you are daring to dream? This question, what are you daring to dream? It feels so relevant now at this stage of the pandemic as we continue emerging from all of those months when we were shut away. And here on Memorial Day weekend, right at the cusp of our summer months, when some of us move into a slightly different rhythm, this seems like a perfect time to nurture whatever that dream is inside you. During the months of the pandemic, when we were huddled indoors, when our physical church doors were shut, the primary focus for so many of us was just surviving. Figuring out, how will we continue to pay the rent? How do I get groceries into this place? How am I just going to make it through one more night alone? Our biggest dream then was that we dared dreaming that we would be able once again to be out in the world among people. And here we are, and here you sit. But what was lying dormant in you during those months that now feels like it's ready to wake up? The transformation of a caterpillar into a butterfly seems both magical and seamless. We know that a caterpillar happily stuffs itself with leaves, and at some point it decides it's full enough that it can eat no more, and it finds a branch to hang upside down on, then it spins a chrysalis, and at some point emerges as a butterfly. But what happens while it's inside the chrysalis? Well, the caterpillar digests itself. It disintegrates all of its tissues. And Scientific American magazine describes this particular stage as oozy caterpillar soup. No, thank you. I will not be having that for lunch later today. But as it's disintegrating, there are actually a few pieces of it that survive the digestive process. And these little bits are called imaginal discs. And they're formed in the caterpillar while the caterpillar is actually still in its egg stage. And there's an imaginal disc for each of the adult body parts that it will need as a mature butterfly. So it has these imaginal discs for its eyes, for its wings, for its antenna, for its legs, for every single feature that a grown-up butterfly needs. And I like imagining that each one of us, that we have our own imaginal discs that are buried deep within us. These human imaginal discs carry our hopes and dreams, our aspirations, our desires. And sometimes things happen in our lives where these discs get buried or forgotten. Sometimes we cover them up with our fears. We're scared to let them come to the surface because if we do, that means we might have to change something in our lives, and that might create disequilibrium in our current situation. And even if we don't feel like we're thriving in this moment, we're at least surviving, and who wants to mess that up? Or sometimes we ignore our human imaginal disc by engaging in behaviors that leave us feeling numb. Certain things we do that can soothe our spirits when taken to an extreme, they actually serve to diminish us. Author and teacher Jennifer Loudon calls these things shadow comforts. And she says that when we are feeling anxious, disconnected, vulnerable, alone, that things like alcohol or food or work or endless hours online, they may feel like comfort in the moment, but in reality, they are creating long shadows in our lives. And Loudon points out, it's not what you do, it's why you do it that makes the difference. And so only you can answer the question, are your choices comforting and nourishing your spirit? Or are they in essence covering up these human imaginal discs that you are carrying around and leave you feeling empty and searching for more? I know all too well how easy it is to let a pleasurable activity kind of run too far off course and instead become a numbing activity. For me, one of those is I love watching like one 45-minute episode of a British mystery series. It feels so good. But when I don't have the energy to actually get up and move away from the couch and instead let it slide right into the next 45-minute episode and maybe slide right into the next 45-minute episode, what was once a pleasurable activity becomes something that I don't really even remember the full storyline of the next morning. And another for me is I love spending quiet time in my garden. You've heard me before. It's a way that I reset my mind and kind of come down to earth and ground myself. It lets my mind kind of wander and rest. But the days when I create an unrealistic work plan for myself, or if I drive myself to finish a project without taking a break, that then becomes a path to mental and physical exhaustion, and it doesn't fill me up at all. It just leaves me feeling more anxious and wondering why my garden doesn't look like those gardens in those magazines. Why? Yes, Stephen. And so, what do you dream of being? And some species of butterflies, the imaginal discs begin to take the shape of the adult body parts while the caterpillar's still a caterpillar. And so some caterpillars are moving around the earth with these little butterfly wings just beneath the surface. And I wonder, do they know that they're carrying around butterfly wings? And I wonder, do you know that your future wings are just below your surface? Over the next few months of summer, I hope you have a chance to reset, to relax, and to nurture whatever it is you are dreaming of. Do you dream of having more downtime? Do you dream of having more time with your special someone? Do you dream of being able to teach more? Do you dream of being able to do something less? What is it that is resting just underneath your surface? Whether or not you're able to kind of come up with exactly that thing, that part of you that's just beneath your surface that you want to let emerge in the next few months. I know for some of you it takes a while to ponder it and really land on the thing. But we have something for you to take home that symbolizes this part of you that you are daring to dream into being. And when you're ready, I invite you to come forward if your body's able to move like that today. And on the altar, we have seed paper that is shaped in the form of a butterfly. And you can take this butterfly home with you. You can just sit it somewhere where you can see it to remind yourself of this part of you that you are hoping will emerge. But you can also put it in a pot or put it in the ground and water it, and soon you'll actually see that dream in you emerging as beautiful flowers and herbs over the next few months of summer. And I hope that this commitment that I'd love for you to make to yourself will continue to blossom and come into being over these next few months. And if you would like a butterfly paper, but your body doesn't feel like moving today, if you'll kind of wave your hand around, I'll be happy to bring one to you. And may all that you are dreaming, may it come through, may it come true, may it blossom alongside the seed paper that you take with you. And remember that you can emerge into new life over and over again and again. And we sing together our closing hymn, number 108, My Life Flows On, an endless song. And I invite you to rise and sing together.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? While through the tempest round me roars, I know the truth it liveth. But through the darkness round me flows, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love prevails in heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both near and near, how can I keep from singing? No prison cell or dungeon fire, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing?
And place a hand on your heart and reach one out to someone in the room or on the live stream. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us. Keep on singing in all you do. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen and blessed be.
I just need like some drums. no, I almost thought about it, but then I'm like, well, then that would really take it up like a really high energy level. I'm like, it's not quite the point. Right? Disco ball. I'm like, how much can I